and welcome to Live Your Bliss Today. This is your host, Kenyette Kilpatrick, and today we have special guest Vicki Howie on the call with us. Vicki Howie is an energy healer, empath, yoga teacher, and chakra innovator who is grateful for the trauma of her early childhood as it motivated her to find new ways to heal herself and led her to her life's purpose to share innovative healing methods with the world. From practicing yoga for over 20 years, she has a deep embodied understanding of the chakras. Combined with her certifications as a master hypnotherapist and master neuro-linguistic practitioner, Vicki has a mix of modern and ancient tools that she uses to guide her clients through big breakthroughs, including through the use of music. Vicki is the creator of the Chakra Life Cycle System, a paradigm-shifting, year-by-year map of human spiritual development that gives you the inside scoop to what is coming into your life energetically and allows you to better flow with the natural current of your own spiritual development. She is the co-editor of Conscious Life News, the host of the Conscious Life Awakened Speaker Series or class, and the creator of Chakra Abundance, a 7-week online program that reveals your specific chakra type and your personalized map to abundance. In addition to all of this, she is the creator of the Chakra Boosters Healing Tattoos, beautiful temporary tattoos that boost and balance your personal energy field 24/7 that are now worn by satisfied customers in 39 countries across the globe. Today on the call, we will discuss how to discover your chakra type to bring balance to your energy field for more wealth, power, love, expression, purpose, intention, spiritual connection, and bliss. How to clear your chakras to invite more abundance and bliss, and how you can tap into the power of your chakras and release energetic blocks to quickly heal every area of your life. Please join me in welcoming to the call Vicki Howie. And let's see. Hi, Vicki, are you there?
I am here. Do you hear me?
Absolutely, we can hear you. Well, again, thank you so much for being on the call with us today.
Oh, I love being here. This is my favorite thing in the world to, one, talk about chakras, this base part of us that people act sometimes as if it doesn't exist and it's like the seed for everything. And two, to just help people who I know if someone's on the call, they're wanting help in a certain area. And there's just so much that we are coming to understand nowadays that can help. So I love doing this.
Well, wonderful. Well, you know, we have quite a number of people on the call, and I did want to mention before we actually got started that for everyone who is on the call by phone, feel free to raise your hand by pressing *2, and that'll get you in the queue so that when we're ready to take calls at the end of the hour, we'll be able to have that ready for everyone. So, Vicki, let's start off. You know, I pronounce it chakras, and I know you say it in a different way. Is there a correct pronunciation of the word?
Okay, so first of all, so we don't seem snooty about it, I want to say that I have a whole bunch of YouTube videos out there, right? And my original YouTube videos were chakra. And as I got deeper into working with it, I actually got into the Sanskrit. The original language that it comes from is a yogic related language, Sanskrit. And the truth is they're both wrong. The real pronunciation is cha for the CH. Cha is in church, just like we would normally do a CH. And the A sound is an like a U, like an So the really right way to say it, if you get very, very technical with the Sanskrit, is chakra. But, you know, ultimately all that matters is knowing about it and knowing how to work with your chakras. And so in America, the most popular way to say it has become chakras. And that's totally cool with me. But what's so funny is I'll walk around I split the difference. I say the A in the more Americanized way, but I say the CH in the more Sanskrit way. So to just kind of slowly bring people into it. And, you know, and that's like a good middle ground. But people often are like, are you saying that right? And I'm like, yes, it's just in America we like to say chakras. But it's actually, so I say chakras.
Okay.
And chakra I completely understand, so I can answer to any of it. Okay?
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, so that I know what we're talking about, I'm going to say chakras because that's how I've been pronouncing it for years now.
Right
on.
I
think that's wonderful to be able to know the history of it.
Vicki,
for our listeners who are new to you, can you share how you came to be on this path of energy healing and specifically around chakras?
Well, the energy path, there's an easier question is how I created the Chakra Boosted Healing tattoos, because that's really how everything changed for me and how I sort of became the person that people came to about chakras. But the overall energy healing and just spiritual seeker kind of has always been in me. I came into a pretty troubled family situation. I think a deep part of me knew that there was parts that were going to need some healing. So I was like being this shaman. My father died when I was 1, and my mother became an alcoholic at that point because it was just really tough for her. She was a young mother with very little and 2 children, and so I just found that I was interested as a teen with death books. I was always interested in the spiritual, the energetic, the esoteric, but when it really, really began for me was in my 30s, I began to do yoga, and I did more and more yoga, and as I became a teacher, as I came up to teacher training, they wanted us to study chakras. And at the time, I thought that they were this esoteric sort of almost fictional thing. Like, I don't know about anyone listening, but like, oh yeah, chakras, yeah, they're colors, and I thought it was all metaphorical, right? And it seemed so complex. It seemed so big. I just truly wasn't interested in it. I really didn't like them in the beginning. What happened though, Kenyette, was as I got further into the yoga and as I got older, I began to realize that I had that one chakra. The more I would read, one chakra was my bugaboo. It just kept coming up symbolically. It would come up visually. It would come up everything I would read about weaknesses in that chakra, and it was my root chakra, which made total sense because the root chakra is developed from womb through 7 years, but especially the first year, from womb to your first birthday. And there was just a lot of trauma at that time. So it made a lot of sense, but I didn't know what to do about it. And I would solve it a lot with doing yoga because it's so embodied. I would feel grounded and better after I did yoga. Now, anyone listening, root chakra weakness has a lot of manifestations, but really common ones are an inability to do routines, changing a lot, moving homes a lot, like once a year. That's very root chakra weakness, having problems with your money situation, like no stability, having trouble with career, having trouble, again, with home and moving it, or just not feeling comfortable in your home, and having trouble with tribe. Tribe is also first chakra, which means your extended family, how well you fit in, whether you're the black sheep or not, whether you even have a family, whether you were adopted. These are all root chakra things. And knee problems, tailbone problems, bone problems, blood problems, and bowel problems. I call them blood, bones, and bowels, the 3 Bs. Okay, so these are all things that will tell you have a root chakra problem, chakra problem, not chocolate. I probably have a chocolate problem too, but that's not something I want to get rid of. Okay, so but the root chakra issue for me was so bad that the other one that I want to tell everyone on the line is if you have a lot of anxiety. If you just sort of wake up and there's this generalized anxiety that has nothing to do with anything specific, but you have a general feeling of fear in the physical body that, oh my gosh, this isn't done. I can't do this. Oh no, it's another day. And I had this every morning when I would wake up. And about the time that I was in my 40s, I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I just can't do this. And I got a taste of what it was like to be healed with yoga, but Kenyette, I would go to bed after the yoga practice, and my old programming in my cells would come back, and I'd wake up anxious again. So I decided to pray and said, I have to have a more long-term solution. I need something more physical, more sustainable.
Right. And
I then followed the breadcrumbs. Immediately that week, I prayed and asked for guidance, and I got led to a movie called What the Bleep Do We Know? And in that movie, Masaru Emoto, for anyone listening, he does the work on words on water. So he did the research that said when you put the word love on a water bottle, it will affect the molecular structure of that water. If you put the word hate, it will make it a chaotic structure. If you put the word love, you'll get a beautiful hexagonal, geometric structure. It's really wonderful. And so I thought, oh, wow, I saw this movie, and all along I'd been wanting to boost my root. So I thought, well, Sanskrit symbols are so old and strong. They're the oldest language next to Hebrew. And a color is associated with that chakra, and an element, the earth, which means like a square. A square is a symbol for earth energy. So I thought if I put all of these elements together, especially the root symbol for the actual Sanskrit word for the root chakra, and put it right on my root chakra, got a tattoo, then it really should shift that energy according to this man's research.
Right. Okay.
So off I set off into Sedona. I had to have it be somewhere really wonderful. I just recently found Sedona and thought that it was the greatest place on earth. I'm looking at it right now. I live here now, 7 years later. So this path is a lot about manifesting. That's why it's chakras, and it's about manifesting inside and outside. Feeling good inside and also creating the things you want in your life on the outside. So I went to Sedona, and there was a man named Shiva, which anyone who knows yoga at all knows that Shiva and Shakti are the masculine and feminine parts to God. So it's like the male and the female God. So here I was at this tattoo parlor with God, Shiva. Shiva was putting on my Shakti tattoo, my feminine downward triangle tattoo. And the moment that he put the stencil on my body at my tailbone, which people call a tramp stamp, and here I was getting a spiritual one, the moment he put it on my back, I literally felt energy shoot down both legs, just release. And my eyes spontaneously cried. There was no emotion involved. It wasn't like I felt and then I cried. It was release, pure release, just water coming out of my eyes. And I was like, oh my heavens, everything has just changed. I could feel it. And I literally had been with my husband for 7.5 years. It hadn't been working. I'd been addicted to his first chakra energy because I lacked so much. So I went home and I pretty much gave notice on the marriage when I got back from Sedona. And every single thing in my life has come out of that turning point. It took me 6 weeks. I left there. I gave him 6 weeks notice because he needed notice. And my life fell apart at that moment. Everything electronic broke. My car broke down. Everything broke down, which I love the symbolism of life. But it was challenging me. And I said, nope, I'm going. You're not stopping me. I'm going to pass this one. And I just kept going. And I created, I said, I want to do this for other people. And that's when the idea came to create temporary tattoos. My son designed those with me, and that's kind of the beginning of everything. And then I just started getting deeper and deeper into this chakra world.
Right. Well, that's such an amazing story. I love that, actually. And it's funny that that's where you would get your first tattoo. I actually had the opportunity to use the chakra tattoos as well, and the first one that I put was also in that same area on my back. So perhaps that is symbolic that that's the reason why we're talking in the call now, is that we have similar similarities. But, no, I just wanted to mention, though, after I put the tattoo on, I noticed that my intuition got even stronger. And I already feel like that I'm pretty intuitive and pretty energetically in tuned. But I just felt like I had even better intuition afterwards, and it was clearer, too. And I couldn't really explain it. So I really love them, not to mention I really like the way they look as well. They're really nice. Well, Vicki, can you briefly tell us what are the chakras and why are they important?
Well, the best way I like to describe the chakras are, imagine like if you go to New York and you have those big turnstile doors that go into all the department stores. Can you picture that? That is the best way to think of your chakras. Over the years, that's the best analogy I can come up with. So you have like these turnstile doors, and we work with 7 main chakras. There's lots of minor chakras throughout the body. You have energy everywhere. But these 7 main ones are in relation to 7 key areas in your body where you have important nerve endings, important glands. So they're really key spots, and you have 7 of these. And they each deal with a different frequency of energy, from the lowest, slowest, densest energy to the highest vibrating energy in your body. So the highest is at the top, and the lowest, densest is at the bottom. You're like this frequency spectrum, and they're all given a color okay? So each door, these 7 doors, each one is taking information in from the outside world, and it's also letting your inner information out. So whether that's cellular information, life experiences, past life experiences, beliefs, you have this inner world that is then being sort of your inner world are the people inside the store that are going out, right? And the outside world is the stuff from the outside world that's coming in your rotating door. Now, depending on your beliefs and depending on how much you care for your body, how much you care for your energy system or do energy practices, these doors can get more gluey stuck, or they can move better, or they can be bigger doors or smaller doors. And when you have really good, imagine just perfectly medium-sized doors, not huge and not tiny, just medium-sized, running perfectly, just letting as much in as letting out, very even. That's what we want with the chakras. We want all of them moving evenly. And you have lower chakras that deal with the physical world. The first 3 deal with quite briefly, they deal with what I already said. The root is your family, your career, your money, mostly your safety, okay? Your second chakra is about your sexuality, your creativity, your play, and your joy, like the feminine. Your third chakra is like your warrior, your can-do, your confidence, the one that gets things done, the non-procrastinator. Your fourth chakra is your mother love. It's the divine energy. It's also the middle of your chakra field. So when you do a really good job balancing, you end up right smack dab in the middle of a state of unconditional love. And that's why we talk so much about love in the healing and spiritual world. Because when we're in complete balance, we're in a complete state of unconditional love. And then your fifth chakra is about your purpose and your expression, your truthfulness, your ability to keep your vows. Your sixth chakra is about your intuition and your connection to your inner higher self, so like your inner spiritual world. And your seventh chakra is connection to your outer and to everything, to everybody. Like everything that is energy, you get connected to through your crown. So it's like this big fountain at the top, which I just love. So those are all 7 of your chakras, and there's not an area in your life, like if you mention an area to me right now, I can say, okay, that's in this chakra, right? There's no area you can mention that I can't say that it's in a chakra, because your whole entire life is represented in your energy field.
Right. Well, and I'd also heard that those are the ones that are located in your body, but there's also even more, correct, over your, above you? Is that right? That's at least the traditional way I've heard about chakras, that there were an extension of them.
Most people believe that, there's even some people believe there's sub-root chakras, but many, many people believe there's lots of chakras going up, almost infinitely, but they talk about, of course, a lot of people talk about the 8, a lot of people talk about 8 through 12. For me, for my work, I'm here for this tantric period right now, which is such a key time in our evolution that my focus is actually more on the bodily chakras, and my focus is even the most on the lower chakras that we've been sort of denying over such a long period of time as we've tried to ascend over the last 5,000 years. And the issue with that is that our planet has actually moved in the galaxy. Our energies, if anyone will tell you, they can feel now that our energy is quickening. There's been much, much, much quickening. So we are ascending quite naturally now. So I'm very fascinated with the lower chakras, because I see that most of my spiritual peeps, which are surely the people that are on this call, are actually very well in tune with those upper chakras. Whether they even realize it or not, they come in here as indigo children. They come in here highly connected to the silver cord of the divine. What they're actually often missing in order to have a satisfying experience is connection to earth energy and the ability to be in this body, in their first, second, and third chakras, and to manifest, because manifestation is in the first chakra very much, to be in their personal power, which is in the third chakra, to be in their sexuality at the second chakra, and to really, really bring their gifts all the way down into their body, into this earth as a gift to others.
Well, wonderful. Well, I know that this is such a time for change for a lot of people, for the world actually in general. Why do you think this information is needed right now? And also, we had spoken a little earlier, and you had mentioned that there was more grounding that is needed. And why do you think that that's the case? I think you
Well,
touched
because
on it.
we're quickening. We're just quickening. I mean, everyone feels it. You can talk about the movement through the galaxy, where we are in the galaxy. We're more in the center of the galaxy now. We're literally moving along, and we're just quickening and quickening and quickening, which is exciting, because that can literally mean that the things we've seen in Star Trek, like teleporting and things, that we're not far from that now, because the quickening lessens the mass, right, of what's happening in our mass level. But that having been said, the three-dimensional reality, this Earth, she is very much of mass. She is very much about root chakra. And I see more and more people now understanding that we need to come home to Earth, come home to our bodies, come home to natural, right? Get rid of all these chemicals that we're using and eating. And so that return is actually a return down, bringing God energy from the top down, versus constantly trying to move energy up, which has been from the past. When in the past we had a lot more gravity, we were a much more slow culture, and we were a much more masculine culture. We're actually trying to bring in more goddess energy now, more embodiment.
Right. Well, I know that there are different chakra types as well. Can you explain to us what they are? That will help our listeners determine which type they may be.
Yes. Okay. So first of all, I gave my story at the beginning, and I'm a pretty classic chakra I'm an upper, what we call an upper dominant, okay? Which means in the past, I came in with a silver cord as an indigo child, and I've had all kinds of psychic experiences, and I'll probably always be connected to my psychic self. What was lacking for me was landing on my feet, landing in a family, having commitment, being rooted, being in this body, right? And that's one type, which I'll get into. The second type is the opposite. And the second type is fairly common, which is we grow from the ground up like a tree. So we cut the cord when we come into this world. We grow up in a family, and we start at the first chakra and move our way out. That's the traditional, okay? And anybody who stops in their development at any point, if they stop when they get to their fifth chakra or even their heart, then they're going to be more lower dominant. Like if they stop cultivating their spiritual skills, right, their spiritual abilities. And then there's a really interesting group that straddles these two groups. And I call it the split. Because the upper chakra dominants like I was. And again, these are all temporary states, Kenya. I want to be very clear. These are really deep tendencies. They're deep tendencies usually. And all my clients, because this is the way we've lived for years. We get our needs met in a certain way, and we have these deep tendencies when we're really little in those first 7 years of life and beyond, but mostly in those first 7 years, we really create some deep tendencies that say, I need each of my chakra needs met, and the way that I'm going to get them met is by closing down in this area or that area. Like my family doesn't like this, so I won't do that, or I'll look like this and I won't be like that. And so we close down parts of ourselves, and we sort of lose the power. And it's like closing down rooms in a tall skyscraper, right? Because it goes up our axis of our spine vertically. So just imagine you're this tall skyscraper, and let's say you're a girl and you're really in your fire, which I'm a very fiery girl, and that's in your solar plexus. So you're very much in your third chakra, and you're in there and you're like, I want to fight, I want to be a tomboy, and you start fighting one of your boyfriends. You know, when you're 4 years old, you're like, I want to wrestle with you, I want to fight, and your dad pulls you over and says, no, girls don't do that. You know, or you get really, really angry as a girl, and the dad lets the boy get angry, but the girl, he says, no, be nice now, be nice, you know. And so these are just examples. There's a million examples. We all have our own story, but the point is every chakra deserves to live. Every part of you is sacred. The shadow, the light, and everything in between has a purpose, or God would not have created it in you. So you are perfect. There's a perfect energetic blueprint within you that is simply dying for you to say hello to it, because certain doors got closed along the way because other people, as we were growing up, didn't accept those areas, and so we closed them to get our needs met, which is totally okay and totally understandable. We're little kids. We want to get our needs met. So this is how those doors that I talk about start to get closed down. But the cool thing is, even if we've been doing it our whole life, we can open them back up. And now more than ever, because the energy on the planet is so light and so fast, we are more conscious and more able to change things than we ever have been in the past. We can truly change. We don't have to wait lifetime to lifetime to change now. We can become our fuller self in this lifetime and even surprise ourselves with the places we go, the careers we take on, the people we fall in love with. We can surprise ourselves. And that's what I love about this work. So I got going there. I don't even know if I answered the original question for you. Did I, honey, or not?
Well, I believe you did. And the question was only about
the types. The
types of chakras, right? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so.
Okay.
But you know, I was noticing that we have quite a number of questions coming in from our callers, and so I would like to address at least one of them right now. This is Raquel. She is actually out of Brazil listening. Thank you for listening, Raquel, and says, Dear Kenyette and Vicki, I recently left a job that has been causing me too much stress. It seems like it was the purpose of the people was to make you disempowered, insecure, and dependable. And after resigning, I took a long vacation and cleared myself, but I still feel entangled energetically to this place. How can I work with the chakras to clear that? How can I truly energetically move on? Thank you so much for your kindness in answering this.
Okay, well, this is fun. I'm glad to help, Raquel. If you're listening, type in the Q&A your birthday. It'll help me a lot to have your birthday because the chakra life cycles work on your birthday, and it also helps me to look at your destiny number. But just from the energy, honey, I immediately got a sign of the fire. I know it's third chakra. They have dug into your power cord. But it's interesting because I saw a butterfly too. So someone in your job area, boss, somebody really insinuated themselves into your power center. But what I'm seeing is that it's actually really easy for you to change, and that truth is, and this is what I'm getting from the butterfly symbol, is that you've already changed. So you just haven't caught up with your own change. It's kind of what I'm seeing, what Spirit is showing me. So this means simply that celebrate the change more. And here's the main thing, and this was big for me, and I've never seen this with anyone else except me, actually, Raquel, which is I did this when about 8 years ago, had so many problems. And this is all the stuff that's been healed through this process, through the chakra abundance, and that is I was divorced. I had debt because my husband left me with so much debt. He was a big, big spender. I've just never been much of a spender. And so I had debt. I was divorced. Living alone. I mean, it went on and on and on. I didn't know what my career was. I was having knee issues. I didn't have any insurance. I was moving apartments. It just was classic, like, first chakra problems. And what happened was I got left with a foreclosure that we had bought at a vacation home, and I had agreed to put it in my name. Now, I had never had any money issues in that way. I hadn't had a lot of money because I was very upper chakra, but I hadn't had, like, a default, like major problems. And I was so ashamed, Raquel. I was so ashamed. So at that moment, I became very, very clear, more than I ever have been in my whole life, and you feel like you're in the same exact spot to me right now, that I cannot look. Literally, what I want you to do right now is, if you're listening to me, I want you to stand, and I want you to literally look at your coworkers, and particularly if there's someone you think I'm talking about who was good at usurping your power. And if there were, I'm getting there might be 3 of them that were usurping your power. I want you to see all 3 of them, and then literally I want you to just, like, put a wall between you and them. Just let it come down. And you can even make it pretty, because you're a butterfly, and it doesn't feel, I got chills in my legs when I said make it pretty. So you're a butterfly. This isn't like a prison door. This is like, you don't even need that. You could just put a gossamer, like, curtain down, and that would do it for you. So just put something pretty and graceful and beautiful between you and them. And then the next move I want you to do is literally turn around. And as you turn around, I want you to say, I am leaving them behind me. I cut all ties, all strings, and my commitment is to what's coming next. And I want you to say that at least every day, several times. My commitment is to what's coming next. And I ask the divine to show me how to serve. That's your mantra right now. But more important, the prayer, the mantra is really important. But more important than that is your absolute commitment. And I want you to promise it to yourself and to me and to everyone who's on this call energetically with you, that you will not turn back. That you know that that is the path, and that you are now, even though you don't know what's in the future, you know that you're asking Spirit and it's going to show up, and it will very, very soon. Like, I am getting super soon. And I don't want to freak you out with times or dates or anything, so I'm not going to say a time, but it is going to be plenty soon, and here's when you know it will come. When it almost doesn't matter if it comes or not, Raquel, because you are in such faith that what you are doing is right moving forward.
And Vicki, Raquel's birth date is April 16th, 1976, but it sounds like you had a pretty clear reading on her without that.
Yeah, I really did, but I just want to tell her at least. So will you do the math? We've already passed the April, so just all I want to do is know her age as well, and I want to make sure I don't screw that up. So I think she's 40. But can you check on that for me? Is she 40, honey?
I think that is correct.
Because I don't want to make a mistake on that. I don't like to, math be the problem.
Especially if it needs to be. She's actually 40, correct.
Okay, good. All right. So what we have is you have a 7 destiny. So your destiny is spirit. So something working with spirit. It can also be philosophical, but in this case, I'm definitely getting spirit. So you need to be in something that feels to you like a spiritual realm. Now, if it's not your work that's spirit, then it's got to be a big part of your life, okay, because it's your overall destiny. Now, regarding your chakra life cycle, I want you to know that you are in your 6-5 right now. So this means that you intuitively, the 6 means intuition. Now, we're talking about this year. For the whole next year, you're going to be in this. Intuitively, you need to follow your intuition to find your purpose, because 5 is about truth and purpose, and 6 is about intuition. So when you're in a 6-5 cycle, you're about really following your intuition. I feel like you already did this with the job. You didn't even have something else lined up, and you took the lead, and it's going to pay off. But the only way it won't pay off, Raquel, and I want you to remember this, is if you turn back, okay? Remember the beautiful gossamer that you put down. Look forward, and I literally want you to look forward, like every morning, aim wherever the sun comes up, wherever that is for you, wherever east is from where you are. I want you to say, I'm committed to where the sun comes up, and I've left the rest behind me, and I am asking Spirit to show me how I can serve. Okay? And it will show up. This year is going to be a lot about expressing from your intuition, honey. If you do any work around intuition, definitely practice it and do it a lot. And next year is pretty exciting, because next year is a double cycle of 6-6. You're going to be intuitive off the charts. So practice listening to yourself a lot now, so that next year you can just take it to that next level. This year is the year more to take action. This year will be the year you're going to set up some important things for your purpose. I know it, because you're going to soften into it a little bit more next year with the 6-6. You'll go a little more inward. You'll feel a little more comfortable where you're at. Okay. And then the following year, 42, is a destiny year for you. Just so you know, it's a 6-7 year, and your destiny is a 7. So it's going to have a really sweet feeling of you meeting your destiny, especially through your intuition, because it'll be 6-7. Okay.
Nice. Well, Vicki, I meant to mention to our listeners as well that if you do have a question, you'll need to share your birth date for a more accurate reading and your age. But you were just talking about chakra types, and it's confusing to me, because it's so much to think about. Is there a way to simplify chakras? Is that something that you've thought about? I know you've said there's an upper, a middle, and a lower.
Okay, well, let me be simple, but then I have to go into a teeny bit of the complexity, okay, because we didn't even begin. I told you I would go to the main chakra type. I got off a little bit, because as I do when I get talking about this stuff, I get really excited. I love it. So I'm going to go back now, and we're going to actually make sure everybody's clear on the chakra types, okay? Because I'm going to slow down a little bit. And by slowing down, we're going to actually be able to go faster because it will be clearer. So the first thing I want you to realize is that energy is only up and down. And then there's a gradation between that. So the earth is the lowest, densest energy, and your lowest part of your body is the lowest, densest energy. And then it goes all the way up to sky, sky, sky. And that's why we think of heaven as being in the sky, because the energy is pure consciousness as it goes up higher and higher and higher and higher. And when you finally get as far as you could ever go, which never ends because it's infinity, you get to pure consciousness. And there's absolutely no mass. Okay? It means there's nothing physical. And when you do the opposite and you come all the way from the sky down, down, down into the earth and you get to the deepest, densest rock in the core of the earth, you get to a point where there's almost no energy left. Like there's so little, it's barely pulsating. Okay? But we can't get rid of energy in this life because we're alive. The planet's alive. Even rocks are alive. So there will always be a little bit of that energy there. But, of course, when mass dies, it loses that energy, and that energy leaves. So, basically, you just have in the world up energy and down energy, which means in chakra types, you have people that like to live in the down energy, all right? And you have people that prefer to live in the up energy and avoid the down energy. And then you have people, which I call splits, which like to live in the up and the down. Now, many people playfully call them bipolar. I like to call these people big souls. So if you see yourself in this, call yourself a big soul, which means you like to stretch to the heavens and you like to have your feet on the ground as well. And what happens a lot of times is that your sense of self, which is in the middle of your body, it's in the middle of your energy field, right under the heart, that gets stretched and weakened. Okay, which means usually you end up helping others a lot and putting yourself last when you're split. Okay, so let's go over the characteristics of each of these types. I'm going to do upper, then lower, then split. Feel free to take some notes because maybe you'll see not just yourself but a family member or a friend, okay? Now, a lot of people aren't one of these types. I'm a pure upper. Many people are an upper/split. Like they might be a hybrid, okay? And of course, if your life is sailing along and you're manifesting, like my chakra scores are just like incredible. They're wonderful, and it shows in my life. You know, like I'm loving my life. I got no complaints. Just keep doing more of the same, right? So if you're in that place, that's cool too. You can be very, very balanced. Otherwise, if you're not very balanced, you're a balancing waiting to happen. Okay, which means your innate energy is just waiting for you to heal the other side, to balance it out. So if you're an upper, this is what an upper looks like. If you do these things, you're probably upper. You move quickly. You tend toward anxiety. You have more freedom than money. You love experiences more than material things. You trust easily, and some would say too much. You talk a lot. You're lighter, taller, and you have trouble gaining weight sometimes. It's not easy for you to gain weight, and it's certainly not easy for you to gain muscle, like if you were to try to work out. I'm a great example of this. Very hard for me to put muscle on my body. You decide quickly, so you make your decisions quickly, intuitively. You fear commitment. Commitment for you is like, if you really get honest with yourself, commitment for you can be like a 4-letter word. It's a very long 4-letter word. And you tend to be scattered. Some people might say flighty. You know, we're not in judgment here. We're just saying, where's my energy field? And often accident prone. So my son, who takes after me, who has a lot of that energy, is very accident prone. I am too, pretty much. So, but I will say that that has changed a lot since I've grounded myself a lot more. Okay, so if you're lower, you can pretty much turn everything I just said upside down, okay? So I can do it a little bit faster. If you're lower, you move slowly, or you talk a lot about being stuck. You may notice you feel stuck in life sometimes. Instead of tending toward anxiety, you tend toward depression, right? Anxiety is energy moving up. Depression is energy moving down. So if you're lower, you tend towards depression. If you're lower, you have more money than freedom. You're probably working a job or getting money from other people that are taking your freedom and your time, but you're sticking to it because the money matters to you, or material things do. You love material things. You have a really good sense of it, of what's good, what's luxurious, and you really do like the material world. And for me personally, guys, I'm trying to develop in that direction, so I have so much respect for that. I love that people who know good things and value beautiful things. You love the known, like you love to go to your same restaurant and order your same favorite thing, and you hate change, especially when it is quick and unknown, comes out of the blue. You trust more slowly, and some would say sometimes too little, like you tend to mistrust a little bit. You talk much less, so whereas the uppers talk more, you talk less. Your body is what we call in Ayurveda kaphic, which means it tends to be a little more grounded, a little on the shorter side or on the more mass weight side, and it's easier for you to gain weight. See, it's about your energy field. It's about your genetics, but your genetics are what are in your energy field. So it's not your fault at all. You decide more slowly, quite decisively, but slowly. You take your time when you're making decisions, and you commit strongly. Whereas upper chakra people are scared to death of commitment, you are the most loyal in the world. You're super loyal. When you commit, you commit. You're solid and very safety-oriented, so you are not at all accident-prone. I mean, we all are a little bit, but you are the least of all the types. You're pretty safety-oriented. You're the one who goes back, makes sure all the doors were locked and that the alarm has been turned off. Okay? So, Kenyette, those are the first two. Any questions about those, and then I'll do the last one.
No questions right now about those specifically.
Mm-hmm.
We do have quite a number of other questions, but
let's
go ahead and go into that last one.
Okay. Splits are pretty much a hybrid of the two. They're missing the middle energy. I love working with splits, guys. I love working with uppers because I love working with all. But many programs work with lowers. Lowers, you'll know that. You can do ascension programs. You can work with prayer. You can work, but you won't get the information and knowingness that you'll get out of this one. But uppers, you don't have very many other programs in the world outside of Chakra Abundance because all the other programs are working only with lowers, and I can get into that more in the call. But splits, you too tend to be ignored in the spiritual world because the issue is the spiritual world sort of trains you to stay out of your third chakra. The third chakra is the chakra of ego, of power, of anger. So we're taught when we want to be really good spiritually to stay out of that part of ourselves. But the point is that power serves you in your life. As a spiritual person, as a spiritual entity, you need that power to bring great change in beautiful ways into the world. And I have a lot of thirds, so I love, love, love working with splits. Now, whereas the upper moves quickly, the lower moves slowly, the splits try not to move. So if you think you might be split, be honest with yourself. Do you know that you kind of like try not to make a decision? Like, let's say you're listening to me now and you're like, oh, I like what she's doing. I want to do this program, but oh my gosh, I don't know, should I not, and everything's saying you like it, but you're like saying, I don't know. That's very split energy. You try not to move. You confuse yourself almost on purpose. The splits tend toward both anxiety and depression, back and forth. So they can be a little bipolar. If you're more upper-oriented, you won't be depressed at all. You'll be mostly anxiety. If you're more lower, because splits can be more lower or upper. Again, there's these hybrids, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Splits? Go ahead.
Vicki, can I interrupt you for just a moment? I want to ask you, can people be upper maybe the first part of their lives and then move into another area, or are you normally the same until you actually heal that area?
Oh my gosh, what a great question. That's a super good question, Kenyette. The truth is that we actually, through our chakra development, are more lower in our early life, and we naturally move up to upper. So anybody, say, from 35, especially from 35 or even early 30s, all the way up to 50 is naturally in their upper chakra. But there's a difference from being grounded and having a good foundation that you got in your early life and being in your upper chakra and having no foundation and being in your upper chakra. So age does affect how this changes, but I don't believe any of it works too well if you've had early childhood trauma and you're not conscious of the type that you are. Because there just needs to be this awareness of it to start to work with it on a conscious level.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does make sense because if you're not aware of it, then you don't know that it's really playing in your life unless you're observing the patterns of it. But you were going to go a little bit more detail into split.
Right. So a little quick here. It's pretty quick because we've already done the first two, so we already know the quality. The uppers regarding money, the split, the uppers don't have the money, right? The lowers do have it. But the splits tend to make it and lose it. Make it and lose it, make it and lose it. It's really interesting. The splits are that way. The uppers love experience and the lowers love material things, but the splits love both. They vacillate. One day they really want something material, next day they want an experience. So you're going to see this a lot with the splits. They also vacillate around change and routine. Sometimes they really hate a change and sometimes they're okay with it or they actually love it. And other times they love change. They also vacillate regarding trust. Okay, they can trust. It has a lot to do with who the person is and whether the person feels like they're accepting them. They want to feel accepted, splits. And that has to do also with talking. The uppers talk more, the lowers talk less, and the splits tend to talk only when they feel accepted and comfortable. Like if they feel judged or insecure in a situation, they won't talk very much. Whereas uppers don't really even pay attention to that. Uppers will just talk blah, 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 no matter what. And lowers will have a tendency to maybe not talk even if they're feeling they're accepted. They'll just be quiet.
Well, Vicki,
yeah.
Well, once someone knows their type, what can they do with that information?
Well, let me just finish real quick. Splits are mid-body types. You can go either way, and they love to stay undecided or confused because remember, uppers decide quickly, lowers decide slowly, and splits like to stay undecided because guess what? We make our decisions in our third chakra, guys. Our third chakra is actually our mental decision-making chakra, and splits like to not live in the third. So a big part of that is we'll get in that in a second. So they also have trouble acting on their words, okay, because it takes courage to act on your word. And against that third chakra, you have to be willing to say, I said this and I'm going to make it happen. Okay, there's that courage, that fiery aspect. And then finally, splits can be both active and safety-oriented. They can go either way. So the bottom line on splits are they can vacillate a lot in all kinds of ways.
Okay.
And the most important thing with splits is that they take action. They make decisions and take action. So I'm going to go over some of the healing ideas, guys. Now, these are the very general things. If you work with me and do chakra abundance, we're going to do all kinds of specific tools that will actually walk you through these processes. But I'd like you to know in general the kind of things that you want to do for each area. As a split, let's go backwards. Let's start with the split this time. You need to build that third chakra. So core and confidence building things are very important, even physically, Pilates, core yoga. Very, very important, any kind of physical core work you can do. Now, I can't go into it today too much, but I do go into it in my program where affirmations are not good for split. Because when someone's insecure about themselves and they're doing an affirmation to try to change that, there's a tendency for their subconscious mind to fight with them. So if I say, if I don't feel rich, I feel really like I'm having financial problems, and I say, I am rich, my subconscious mind will probably say, no, you aren't. Have you looked at your bank account lately? What are you talking about? And the truth is the subconscious mind is more powerful than the conscious mind. So I do some things called empowering questions and some amazing techniques in chakra abundance that help splits completely turn it around. I mean, just completely turn it around by working with the subconscious mind rather than the conscious mind. And a really interesting thing to do for splits is to do fire walking, because it's the fire chakra that you're trying to avoid. So if you get any opportunity to do a Tony Robbins fire walk, it's a great thing. But the most important thing, since most of us don't have a fire pit to walk on in the back of our yard, or, is to take action, splits. Like whatever you do now, make this commitment right now. Boy, I could feel you guys tapping in because I could feel it in my solar plexus. You want to take action even if it It doesn't matter if you think it's right or wrong or anything. You could even, here, I'm going to give you a nice trick. You take a coin, right? You flip the coin. You ask the question. You flip the coin. You turn it. You make one answer, yes is heads, no is tails. When the coin lands, you see how you feel about it, right? So you ask the question, should I take this job? And it lands on heads, yes. And you see it and you go, oh, no, right? Then you know intuitively that your intuition doesn't want to take the job because you got a yes and you immediately went, oh, no, right? So with a simple flip of the coin, you can see what you're really feeling, guys. It's a great trick. It's not the coin that matters. Get this. It is not the coin that gives you the answer. It is your reaction to the coin's answer that gives you your real answer. And when you have that split, what you do is you take action. You can always course correct. Follow the nearest action you can take and then correct again. Course correct, course correct. Because for you, if you don't take action, you're going to stay in muddled confusion and you won't go anywhere. And I can guarantee you, as soon as you start stepping into your third chakra and your power, everything's going to shift for you. And it doesn't even matter if you're making a quote-unquote right decision or wrong decision. It only matters that you take action courageously, and then when you get where you're going or you start moving where you're going, you course correct as you feel. Okay. So that's for the splits. For the lowers, healing is pretty traditional, meaning that you're going to do enlightenment activities. Prayer, gratitude is huge. Gratitude journal is huge. Meditation, movement, lower chakras. We've got to move that energy up into the upper body. Move your arms. Really get going. Celebrate. What can you celebrate? Every single day. When you celebrate, it moves your energy upward, and it really does a lot for you. If you have anyone on the other side, lowers, this is a big one. I love this one. You are very loyal, very loving. I love your energy, lowers. You're like my antidote, right? I've been working on your energy for 8 years now, which means in me, I've been working on the lower chakras. And what I love about you is your beautiful love and loyalty. Oh, so strong. So use that. If you have someone who's passed over to the other side or several people who have, pray to them, talk to them. Use their energy to pull you up, okay? And take risks, okay? Shake up your belief system a little bit and emphasize spirit every day. What does spirit have to show me today? How can I serve spirit today? Just keep talking spirit if you're a lower. And then uppers, you keep talking earth. I need you to go into your body. Grounding activities, drumming, earthing, touching pottery on a wheel, gardening. Now, you're not going to like this, uppers, but it's routine and commitment, repetition. This is your healing. Does anyone ever really like their healing? Well, sometimes we do. When you're a lower, you sort of get the fun stuff is the upward energy. But when you're an upper, our soul needs the hard stuff. It needs the work. Not that this does great for me pitching my programs, but I'm telling you, that's where our soul growth is. My soul growth has come in me doing the day-to-day work of grounding, being present, doing routine. It's what brought me this beautiful home I'm in now. It's what brought me my family that I have now, my beloved, my partner. He's amazing. My business that I love. All these first chakra elements because I've stayed consistent. Because uppers, here's what happens a lot with you, is you want things to manifest, but opportunity comes knocking at your door and you have moved. It doesn't know where to find you. You're somewhere else already again. You've got another forwarding address. So it's time for you to emphasize staying on the planet, being grounded, doing the day-to-day things in your life to show up. And actually, it might not sound yummy right now, but your soul will find it yummy the more you do it, because it's the antidote to the energy that's been closed down in your body. I know it. I've lived it. So those are the 3 types. Yay, we made it.
Wonderful, Vicki. Yeah, this is such wonderful information that you're sharing with us today. Thank you for that. Well, I know that in 2012, in fact, I remember it's the fall of 2012, that you had this amazing chakra download regarding the chakra life cycle system, and that explains the evolution of our chakras. It's probably way too vast to go into detail, but can you briefly share with us a little bit about that and the experience?
Well, the experience was amazing. I had actually a client who was so pleased with the work I'd done with her that she actually gifted me an entire workshop in Arizona, which when I didn't live here, okay, in Scottsdale, Arizona. When I lived up in L.A., I now live close to Scottsdale, live in Sedona, Arizona, the mystical capital of the world, if not at least the country, right? And she had gifted me a program called Gifted. And I went to this Gifted program, and we just did so much diving into things that when I was driving my long 8-hour drive home back to L.A., I suddenly just got this download, and it came down into me, and it was like, ching, 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 all these things that I had been seeing in my clients over the years and in my chakra students made sense. And I went, oh my heavens, it was the blueprint of our spiritual development, our chakras, so that I can tell you why a 2-year-old at the end of near their 3rd birthday starts to go into the terrible twos. I can tell you why a 15-year-old disrespects the person that they actually respect the most. And that makes so many parents feel so much better when I tell them the more a 15-year-old disrespects you, the more they actually respect you. And there's a long story regarding that, and I believe I go into it in the program. You can certainly ask me about that on one of the live calls if you do my program. But it's a really cool story, and I've really helped a lot of parents with that. There's a reason at 29 you go deeply into your life purpose. You start to feel this urge to do your higher calling. There's a reason that at 49 to 50, our lives have a tendency to fall apart and do a reset, and it's amazing. And it just goes on and on and on. We're meant to live to be at least 100 in a really healthy way, which we will do as soon as we start getting more aware and come back to nature foods and stop and get aware of our energy. Between our diet and our energy, we will start living past 100. And the second half from 50 to 100 will be an amazing do-over because we go through our 7 chakras up to 49. And at the 50th birthday, we hit as high as we can go. We come back down and start over at the root. And it's just a super, super exciting time. So anyway, that's kind of how this system works, and I use it when I use it a little when I'm doing the intuitive readings for people, like I did for this house.
Yeah, so I was just going to mention that I noticed that you use that for when Raquel wrote in earlier, and thank you, Raquel, for your question, by the way. But I also know that when you do the readings, not only do you use the chakra life cycle system, but you use numerology and your, of course, intuitive ability. So perhaps this might be a good time for us to take some calls, some live calls, and do a reading and clearing. Will that work for you?
Yeah, I'd love to do it with somebody actually live. It's fun to talk to someone.
Okay. Perfect. Well, we've got, like I said, quite a number of people on the line, and I hope that we'll be able to get through some of them. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and choose someone, to intuitively choose someone, and then we'll see. I think we've got people here from Australia, all over the United States.
Yay,
the
Australia's
West,
in the house. And we already had Brazil.
Right, Brazil. Fredericksburg is calling out to me. Caller 4. I think that's actually, let's see. All right. I think I may have hung up on that person. Hold on just a moment. I'm sorry about that, Fredericksburg. Let's
call
see
back
if you
in,
are still
Frederick.
on. Yes, please call back in, and I will unmute. Let's do this, Brentwood. Danielle, are you there?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Danielle. I'm great. Did you have a question for Vicki or would like for her to do a reading on you?
Yeah, a reading would be great. I mean, I have so many questions, so I probably wouldn't get anywhere.
Okay. Well, I think we can pretty much do a reading, and maybe we can feed one question into the reading. Okay, is that good?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, it's Danielle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, honey. So what's your question? First, give me your birth date, and then I'll have you give me the question.
Okay, it's 5/28/72.
Okay, so I've got 5/28/1972. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then just so I don't screw up any method, I'll give me your age.
44.
I'm sorry, say it again.
44.
Okay,
it's
44.
hard to say that out loud. So.
Yeah, so you're in your crown, just so you know that, which means you're in that part I was talking about, in that highest energy field. It begins at 43. So really cool. My partner's in the opposite of you. You're in your 7-2, and he's in his 2-7, which is a really fun place to be. Or I should say he's about to go there in just a few weeks, and it tends to come up just as you're starting to go into it. Okay, so you are, actually, you just had your birthday.
Yeah.
Right. Happy birthday, honey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so you just switched over from 7-1 into 7-2. All right, good. Okay, so it's a little more movement into goddessy energy. All right, so tell me your question, hon.
Well, I guess I just feel that I feel that I'm all over the place a little bit, and I don't feel that I'm on my path. I feel like I got distracted, and I just don't know if I'm headed in the right direction, I guess.
Okay. So first I'm going to tell you, it's interesting that you said that. Okay, so again, realize that I kind of get upper chakra energy for you, hon, and you're actually in your crown chakra. So remember, you're one of those ones that's going to really need this earthy, grounded stuff because it has no way of coming through if you're not really grounding, because you're only going to get lighter. You're in your crown chakra. Now, the cool thing is you're in your 7-2. 7's your destiny, actually. So you're actually in your destiny cycle. So that's why you're perking up right now and going, hey, I want to be on path because you are. You just, it's almost like, I think you are. It just hasn't resonated down into your body, into the lower chakra. In other words, sometimes, how do I explain this? Sometimes we don't, you know how sometimes someone has an intention and then they do something different or they don't do the action, like they intend to do something good for us and then they don't do that action, so we don't see their intention, right?
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about? So that's kind of the vision they're giving me for you, which is like you have more understanding in it but it's all in your intentions field. Okay, and you're not tapping into it so much because you're not seeing it in your day-to-day life in your actions. So it sort of like doesn't have a reality for you because you're not giving it enough body grounding. Okay. So I know that's weird how maybe I put that, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. So for you, it's going to become really important. I'm feeling a little bit of what I said to the split, in that you're going to need to take action and just course correct. In other words, you do not need to figure it out in your head. Parts of you already know things you don't even realize, but those parts of you need you to operate in your body. So even if you make a wrong, quote-unquote, choice, by making the choice, you're going to feel more what you want, and you're going to course correct, but the important thing will be is that you're in your body. So this thing that I said to the splits actually applies to you a lot right now. Okay? And that's actually how it's going to come to you. In other words, I think because you're a 7 destiny and because you're in your 7 chakra, you think that you need to know it all. You need to figure it out in your head first, but it's actually the opposite for you. You need to feel it in your body in order to validate and sort of bring down what your upper chakras know. It sounds backwards, but it's not for you. And go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
You know, it's really funny because, I've always, I'm a woman and, we're always trying to lose weight, get healthy and everything. And I just feel like all of a sudden I have a really strong desire to make like a commitment to go to the gym like every day. Like I feel like I've worked on my mind, I've worked on my soul, but I have to tie it all in with my physical body, I feel like. And that's the information that I was given, and I don't know if that's like, I think it's on point, but it kind of, I think it would pull it all together.
Commitment is yes. Commitment is going to be huge for you, huge, and not just now, but until you're 49. Like when you get to be 50, commitment, and 51, especially 51, commitment is going to come easy. You will have practiced it, you'll be a pro. But right now, commitment is huge, especially in regard to action, in regard to taking action, especially in regard to body, but more importantly, even career right now, which means every little thing that you're drawn to, you have to go toward it. Like but you must stay with it. So in other words, something else gets put aside because you go, okay, I'm going to go this direction, so something else then gets put aside, and that's fine. And you need to just put blinders on and go, okay, I'm at this. But the moment that as you start to get into this, you're going to really feel it. You're going to really feel, does this have lots of future for me? Does this not? And you're going to say, am I committed? So your question is always going to be, am I committed? If you're truly committed, then is this right for me, right? So that you're not using lack of commitment as a way of saying that something isn't right for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I want you to start to say, commitment comes first. Then after I commit to it, then I check and see how it feels. And if it doesn't feel right, I figure out exactly what's missing, and I commit to something else that has that. Okay? And so it's almost like you're on, you know what they just showed me? The visual I just saw was, okay, you're on the monkey bars. Like when we were little kids, we had those monkey bars that I don't know, I might be older, so I might not have people on the call that know, but we had the monkey bars that go across in the back of our schools or whatever, and you take one hand in front of the other like a ladder and you go across. Well, it's like they're showing that you can either stand at the end of the monkey bars and do nothing, and that will get you nowhere. Or you can commit to crossing in the monkey bars, right? And as you cross, imagine that there's monkey bars on each side of you as well as the ones that are in front of you. And at any moment, as you're doing it, if you're willing to completely shift your focus, you can go to a different monkey bar, but whichever one you go to, you're then going to be committed to that. So in other words, people would say, well, that's not commitment, that if you're changing it all the time. That's what they're showing me, is it's okay for you to change, but you must act and you can't drop anything completely, meaning you must have another bar that you're grabbing.
That's what I feel like. That's what I feel like my life is right now. Like that's exactly how I feel. Like I'm just like, I don't feel like I feel like I'm all over the place, kind of, but I feel like I'm trying to find my way, So.
Okay, so to be really clear, what I'm getting, honey, is lack of commitment. Okay? So the trying, even just the word trying from a hypnotherapist, we hear lack of commitment. Because you don't try when you're really committed, you just do. There's no trying. You just do it. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I'm trying to get you. This is what I, at this moment, am getting you to see, is that you commit and you feel into it deeply with commitment. And you do it as long as there's momentum in that. So you can't be scattered, because the moment you pick something, you put on blinders. So you're going to have to pick. You can't do a zillion things. When you commit something, you can't. For instance, when we have long-term relationships, it's rare that we commit to 4 different people, right? We commit to one person because some people commit to more, but usually most people commit to one person when they have a romantic relationship, because not only is our culture that way, but also because it takes a lot of energy and focus to give all of yourself. So for you, it is commitment. Now, there's one other thing I want to tell you, though. Do not get yourself all like heavy with commitment, because commitment's a heavy word. This birthday just brought you into your feminine energy, and it brought you into your sexuality and your play. So it's really important that you feel girly. So as you're going to the gym and you're committed, remember afterwards to wear that clothing that makes you feel really fun and feminine and sexy or whatever. Let there be the reward. Let there be the joy. Let there be the play. This year has to have some play to it, even while you're committing. So commit to play. And commit to the feminine, to the sensual, to the joy, because you just came into your water. Okay?
Okay.
All right, darling. Does any of that speak to you? I know it's asking you.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's what I needed to hear, definitely. So that's like the topic of what was on my mind. So it's awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, and let me just say one more thing. Next year, you'll be in 7-3. As you're playing a little bit this year, don't be too hard on yourself, because next year is your big action year. And it's spirit, it's your destiny is 7, and you have a 7-3 year next year, so it's going to be your destiny in action. So just have fun, commit, but don't, like what I said, allow yourself to course correct this year. Be kind of light about it this year. Next year, you're going to have a clarity you're not going to believe. It's going to come in way clearer next year, everything is. Okay?
Okay.
All right, darling. Thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Well, Vicki, I love that you were able to go into so much detail with her, and we have a number of other people, but I wanted to at least let you know that the majority of the questions that are coming through as far as the Q&A have been all about health, chronic inflammation, fibromyalgia, and would you say that disease or dis-ease is blockages in the system, and that you can clear those through your chakras?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what is so cool is that the chakras let us begin to see the world symbolically as it belongs, as it is, because really our whole life is symbolic. So, and for instance, like if my car overheats, your car is you on the go, you know. So I look and I say, where am I overheating in my life? You know, where am I, like, I need to stop and put some more water in or whatever, okay? So some of the diseases aren't as obvious. Some are very obvious. I just named some. Blood, bone, and bowels are all first chakra. So you would do root chakra work on those ones. Fibromyalgia can be many chakras, but it tends to be more root because it's about your skin, and your skin is your biggest organ, and it's all about your fascia and stuff. So, and it also has a lot to do with feeling safe. You got shocked at somewhere in your system when you have fibromyalgia. For instance, asthma, allergies, and sleep apnea, the A words, are all heart chakra problems. Immunity is a heart chakra issue. And all of your digestive problems are all third chakra. So you need to learn to work with your power. And how do you digest ideas? How do you digest the beliefs in your life? How do you digest the way people treat you? You know, all this stuff affects your digestion, your liver, every one of your organs, your kidneys, all the parts that are in your center digestion area are all third chakra. And then, of course, all your sexual, for women, your ovaries, urinary area, all this has to do with second, which is the water chakra, which is the sexual chakra, which is, so it sounds so complicated when you go to med school for it, and we can't give advice. I'm not a doctor. I can't give advice, but I can tell you, you yourself, you know, through programs like My Chakra Abundance, will have such a keen and elegant understanding of what's even going on with your friends. When a friend comes to you and says, I have a stomach ache, you'll see them, and you'll see them doubled over, and you'll right away go, okay, there's something happening here in the solar plexus chakra, in the third chakra. And you'll even have techniques and ways that you can help them right now to start working with the energy of their solar plexus chakra. Health is not the main thing that I focus on in My Chakra Abundance course, but it is without a doubt every area is covered in the sense that we cover a basic understanding of everything about your chakras, so that really there isn't a single area in your life, health or any other area, that you can't begin to shift with chakra work.
Okay, thank you for that. And I did want to mention as well that if you do feel like you need to see a doctor, that's important to do.
Yeah,
this is not to take the place of your
no.
medical condition, but for sure
no.
we had questions coming in, so I wanted to at least address those. Well, you know, William in Fredericksburg called us back, and we have him on the line. And then let's go ahead and see if there are any other questions. I know we're going to be doing a group call as well. But William, are you there? And you know what? I think I just clicked his name off again. I am so sorry.
No.
I think that it's oh no, here it is. There it is, William. There you are. Are you there? Hello.
I'm in
William.
Not William.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
William.
Yes.
Who's this?
What's your name?
My name is Lynn. I'm in Fredericksburg.
Lynn. Okay, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
I'm so glad I didn't hang up again. So, Lynn, thank you so much for calling back in. Did you have a question for Vicki?
Well, you just addressed the health issues. I've been on an active health journey for 17 years, but I've really been on a spiritual thing too, of course. And I've got subconscious things that are blocking my healing. It's just one thing after another. So I just wondered, I'm way into chakras, so I wondered what you picked up for me.
Lynn, so give me your birth date, honey.
Okay, September the 18th, 1948.
Okay, and tell me how old you are.
67.
Okay, 67. Okay, and what's funny is I got on this call without my own chart, my own chakra life cycle chart, so I'm actually having to do math to figure out this. You guys always carry your own chart. It's not good to not have it in front of you. So because I know that when we go from 58 to 64, you are in your second chakra, which is really cool. So you're in your power chakra right now. And that, most of us have a lot of subconscious reasons that we don't like to go into our power. So, and interesting, whoa, you're in your 3-3. Okay, that rocks. Okay, so you could not be more powerful in your whole life than this year, Lynn. And I know maybe your subconscious doesn't want to hear that, but on an energetic level, you have more pure, raw, energetic force in your body or available to you if you will let it come through right now than ever before. 3 is the solar plexus, the sun in your body. Now, we also want to look at what your destiny number is, okay? So I've got that your destiny number is 4. Let me make sure that I double check that because I want to make sure that it's right. Okay, so I've got it as a 4. All right, so I think what's happening is a little inner war here is what they're showing me, Lynn. That subconscious stuff, there's different elements of it for sure, and some of it definitely with your childhood and past. But what I'm actually getting that is the big war is this thing between loving self and loving others, being yourself, and between your 3rd chakra and your 4th chakra, like being who you really are and feeling that you're not overpowering others or that you're still serving others or that others will still love you. Like there's a lot of contradictions sometimes between these 2 chakras, 3rd and 4th. Do you feel, are your problems either gut or related to the heart of the things that I said before, or are they all from early childhood and more root stuff?
Well, I'm definitely the bowel, bones, and what did you say? But and I did have childhood trauma that I've worked my entire life.
Okay.
You know.
So, all right. So, first of all, subconscious, there's all kinds of subconscious tools we can use now, and I use a lot of them. There's a program that I'm going to bring up, Lynn. There's just nothing I can do other than, us really working deep, like going into either some of the tools like tapping that you learn to use on your own, or us doing empowering questions, which would also be very good for you, or us doing actually hypnotherapy, which I do a lot of it in my program, just like literally in meditation form, right, to bring people back into their root. So it's the bowels and the bones and blood is what I said. Those are the 3 B's. And those are all, because blood's red, right? And bones are hard like the rock. And bowels are moving downward. That's all root chakra stuff. And what I'm getting here is like 3 years old. You're in like a really crux point right now. You're like at, like some of it was super early, but something happened at 3 that was really key, and you're being called right now to unearth it and to really like love yourself, that whoever didn't love you at that time. Like somebody wasn't there for you at that time. I think it feels like mommy, but it could be dad. Sometimes the mother carries the masculine energy and the dad carries the feminine energy. But you're being asked to not just love yourself, but to think you're worthy, which is a little different than love. One is respect and the other is love. You're being asked to love and respect yourself right now. And also, the main message that's coming through is that life is safe. There's a part of you, like if we went under all of the subconscious beliefs, like you have more specific ones, but if we kept going deeper and deeper and deeper, what we would eventually get is that me being here in this lifetime in a body is not safe. Does that resonate?
Absolutely. I feel like I don't belong here, and when I'm not in a really good space, I just want to go back where I came from.
Okay, honey, so there's a part of you that I want you to tap into right now. Because there's another part of you. There's absolutely a part of you that feels like it doesn't belong here, but there's another part that is holding your purpose. And it's a powerful part because this is your powerful 3-3 year, and I can feel you stepping up more now. So what I want to tell you is I just want to be silent for like a minute. I'm going to send you some root chakra energy and some serious safety energy. And I'm going to hold you in a really loving way onto this planet. Okay? Are you willing to love Mother Earth? Are you willing to be okay now with being here if I can do this with you?
Absolutely. I do a lot of grounding things to try to make that happen for myself. I really work hard on myself, so I'm very open to whatever you can do. I appreciate it.
Right on, honey. Here's the key. Don't work so hard, okay? There's 2 keys I got for you right away. One is don't work so hard. Just love you right as you are right now. Just love you. Love your 3-year-old, your 2-year-old, and your 1-year-old. Like, go back to those times in your life. Love your 3-year-old, your 2-year-old, and your 1-year-old. Pick one each day. Hold that baby. Love her, love her, love her. And then accept whenever you can, and you just did so beautifully, whenever someone else wants to give you love or healing around any of this, take it. Take it, okay? Because it sort of needs to come from you in a loving, relaxed way, no more hard work. And then it needs to come from other people. You need some actual outside healing as well, just to kind of kickstart you, to kind of give you that feeling that, oh, okay, I'm not on this on my own. I'm not in this on my own. And it is safe. I am safe. So we're just going to take a minute now, okay, and I just want you to receive. All right?
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, love. And there's really a sweet, very shy energy. So when you greet that self, just accept that she's very sensitive. This world is like overwhelming to her. She's extremely sensitive.
Right.
Which is a beautiful thing. And I'm trying to tell her right now, I'm like feeding in, just in holding her, this understanding that the people aren't bigger than you anymore, Lynn. They're not. You're bigger now. You're very sensitive, and it's a beautiful thing, but you have more power and action, and you're bigger. So it's not as overwhelming. So as soon as you really let the little girl know that you're here for her, you're the big you that's there for her, she'll feel safer here. Because it's actually, I know it might feel like it's you, Lynn, but I'm getting clear messages it's not you, it's her. But she's just so overwhelmed that she's taking over your identity from a subconscious place.
Okay.
Does that make sense? You get what I'm saying? It's like she's kind of running things now and then because she's overwhelmed. But if you're actually okay. This work you've been doing for 17 years, it's in you. So all I need you to really do is show up for her every day the way I'm showing up for you right now. And very, very quickly ask her if she trusts you, ask her if she's feeling better, check in with her each day. 3 years old. And maybe even up to 5, okay? And you can still love the baby 2 and 1, but I want you to communicate with the 3 and 5, okay? Those 2 years are really key. And let her know that just that you're competent, because you are, Lynn. It's kind of like you just need to kind of run the house, not her, and do it with love. Just yelling, let her know everything's okay. We're cool. This is a great time to be on the planet. You know, and in that, I just felt your third just really fire up. So be aware that you are very, very powerful, my love. You have a lot of power, a lot. Okay. And you actually have a healer, you have a heart destiny. So there's some healing in your journey, not just of yourself, of others.
Well, thank you, Vicki, for that.
Yeah.
Thank
we good?
you so much. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Lynn, for calling in, too.
My pleasure, hon.
Well, Vicki, we have actually gone over most of our call times over the hour, and so I wanted to just for you to go in a little bit. You have created a program called Chakra Abundance, and there are so many more people on the call with questions that I really wish we could get to right now. I know we'll still be doing the group healing in just a moment, but can you tell us a little bit about Chakra Abundance and mostly who would benefit from using it right now? How would the program help in their lives?
Okay. Well, you guys, if you saw yourself in any of those 3 chakra types, you're going to benefit greatly from my Chakra Abundance program. And you know, really what I have found is as I stepped in and worked with mentors and that, what I benefited from was their understanding and their energy as well, because you enter into a family, you enter into a paradigm that really begins to make sense for you and allows you to move forward. So I would like you to go to chakraabundance.com, and if you're on the page, they get a click. Is there a special offer there, Kenya?
Yes, there is. Actually,
okay.
and in fact, I was going to, for those of you who are interested in diving deeper into the chakra teachings that Vicki is doing in the Chakra Abundance package, I would like for you to visit http://www.chakraabundance.com/live your bliss today / or you can simply just click on the special offer button. We also have some people who have asked me in the past to go through it and spell it out. So for those of you who are actually on the phone and would like to visit the website, it's http://www.chakraabundance.com/LIVEYUNDANCE and /. So we'll go to your special offer page right now, Vicki, and you can walk us through that.
So guys, what I basically did was just like my chakra tattoos helped a lot. They were like the beginning. They allowed me to be embodied. And for instance, both of my last 2 callers, you do well with the chakra tattoos, but I wanted to talk to you about the other more symbolic things that were coming in, because when we're in that when we have the lower chakra issues or we're too heady and confused about too many options, we definitely can use the grounded tattoos. But basically, this was my larger version of then taking the processes that have helped me to create the life. I was an upper chakra dominant, and I just problems, root chakra problems and root chakra problems and root chakra problems. And then I got the tattoo and began to feel more grounded. And as I began to feel more grounded, I was then able to work on my root in a conscious way. And as I worked on it, it became the counterbalance. And then I began to look and see how, well, a friend of mine was a split, and I began to understand, and then a client, I started to realize, clients split, okay, we're going to work on the core. And as we worked on the core, everything started to move in their life. So you can see, we would never go to a doctor. You would never go to a doctor, walk in the office and say, you know what, can you give me a pill? You walk into the doctors and you tell them what's going on, what your symptoms are, and you get a diagnosis. But unfortunately, many of our spiritual programs and our self-growth and transformational programs don't have this aspect. So what happens is you are an upper chakra dominant, but you have a lower chakra dominant person selling you a program to do it their way. And the sad thing of that is that you'll actually be doing the opposite of what you need to be doing in those cases. So what I've done is created a program that is uniquely designed to not only show you what you want to work on for your balance, but will actually show you the 3 main types that almost everybody falls into, or they fall into a hybrid of 2 of these types. So you can begin to understand pretty much everyone in your life, not just yourself, and even things that may help them, balance their energy field. And so this is a program that helps you, but it also teaches you how to understand energy fields in general. And so it's really, really valuable in that way. If you are any kind of coach or healer, it's going to help you understand your clients so much. So basically, the basic part of it is that you get a 7-week online Chakra Abundance course. I also have a bonus week prep session that I put in the front. After Spirit gave me the whole course, they said, you need to warm up to the course, because it's so so beautifully deep. You want to get people ready, like stretching before a marathon, right? And I actually just yesterday got an email of a woman who I did a summit 3 days ago or so, and she's already jumped into the pre-session, and she said already the pre-session has been shifting for her, the bonus prep session. So basically, week one, we first do the prep session. Then in the official week one, we go over the power of your personal energy field, and you're going to learn about, you know, your personal filter for power. You're going to learn about masculine and feminine energy in your body, and a little bit more about the chakra types. Okay, so we will touch those many times so you'll understand them. In week two, you begin healing the imbalances. So we talk about what a healing crisis is, and discover your best ways to heal for your particular weaknesses. And I teach the Bliss at that point, and everybody else, but especially Bliss, why affirmations can be bad for you and what to do instead. In week three, we go deeper into your energy field, and I teach you about chakra nexuses. Nobody's teaching about the chakra nexuses. It's really awesome. It's about the points where your masculine and feminine energy actually meet in your body. If you know about these, it's easier to balance in a very physical way. In week four, we commit to massive action for big change, and so I really get you moving, and we also go over some of the stuff we've already learned to make sure it's really sinking in, because if you only know it a little bit, then you're not going to be able to use it in your life. In week five, we really start to step out and you learn to expand all of yourself, and we start to dive into shadow. Shadow is one of the most important things that you can possibly learn. That Matt Kahn, who I adore as well, many of you may have heard of him or love him yourself. He's an incredible teacher on the planet right now, and Matt just did a video, 3 videos back, which was all about shadow, and he says it's the one thing that almost every modality, spiritual modality, is ignoring right now. And I don't ignore it in this program. We do 2 full weeks on it. I was a student of Debbie Ford, who has passed away, but she was the ultimate best shadow teacher of all time, of all of our time. And so I share a lot of really good shadow stuff, which means basically bringing back all the parts of yourself that you have denied simply because other people probably denied it. Like when you were younger, you weren't allowed to be angry, so you pushed angry away. You pushed your creative side away. You pushed your sexual side away. And any of these parts you put away, you need to get that power back. So we invite it back. This is about bringing all of you back into full power. This isn't about changing you. It's about bringing you back to yourself in full power. And finally, the 7th week, I do a sacred vision board process that's off the charts. I've done lots of workshops in LA and even abroad, and basically we start to look at your future. Once everything's in alignment, now it's time to manifest. So we have fun in that 7th week, vision planning and doing vision ideas. So now, finally, the next thing is a Chakra Abundance Call. It's 3 live calls, you guys. 2 of them come with the basic package, and the third one, the Chakra Life Cycle call about this Chakra Life Cycle system. It'll be the first call I've ever done explaining it before my book even comes out this fall, and I'm going to give that explanation to my boosted people who get the boosted Chakra Abundance package. That's going to be really exciting, you guys, and believe me, you'll use it over and over again. If you're a coach, you'll really, really use it. We have a Q&A call that we do in June. All of these calls are in June. In fact, our first call, which is a healing call, is going to come up on the 8th. Okay, so you want to jump in if you want to be on that call. It's very personalized.
And that's actually a bonus call, right, Vicki?
That's
actually a bonus call, right?
No, that's actually the healing is part of the basic. Okay.
Okay.
The bonus
right.
call is the Chakra Life Cycle system call, where I explain what's coming up in the future in my book. And but the 2 regular calls are the Q&A, because I want everyone to be able to ask questions about the program and get clear on it, and the healing call, because I want to kickstart everybody's healing personally on the call. Okay, I can often do that on calls like this, but we had so many callers today, I haven't been able to kickstart everybody, but we'll do it even more personalized and just in an awesome way, and you get the replay on that as well, so you can always kind of feel that kickstart again. I also have a weekly exercises, an immersive program that comes with this, because I believe that you can't just give you downloads. I walk you week to week, and you get homework, which I call homework with an O, like home, to make it a little more fun. And it really is fun stuff, you guys. And I invite you to do a Prosperity Partner program and let you bring a friend for free. So the basic, either the basic program Yeah, it's just like, it's because, here's why. The very first time I taught this live, I found out that about 55% of the people chose to have prosperity partners and 45% chose not to. And the 55% did infinitely better on their chakra scores because we actually test you. Not only will you see the results in your life, but I'm a big one on making sure that things actually work. So I actually give you a test in the beginning. I get you to take a chakra, really great chakra test, right in the beginning of this process, in the middle, and at the end, so you can actually see your test improvements. And I haven't had one single person that hasn't had improvement who stayed in the program and finished it. And average-wise, we're getting, like, massive. Literally people going from negative 15 root scores up to, like, 67, plus 67. Wow. And I actually have a testimonial from one woman in one of my testimonies where she talks about her scores, but we didn't include a lot of the scores. Many, many people have given me positive scores and forwarded them to me. Okay, so then we have...
I was going to ask you about that, but I thought it might be a bit too... I was going to ask you about the positive and negatives, but I think that would probably be a little bit too confusing, and you do go in more in depth in your program on that, correct?
Absolutely. And when you take the test, the guy kind of shows the key, and you start to make sense of it. Plus, when we also have the Q&A call to make sense of any kinds of that stuff. You get me personally. We never leave when there's any questions left on that Q&A call. So I will answer everybody for that. So regarding the chakra life cycle system, it was the biggest gift. I honestly believe it's going to take me years to get humanity to completely understand this, but it's actually quite mathematically beautiful and simple. It's elegant. You're going to love it. And I'm sharing both the charts, which is so incredible, and I'm going to do a 1-hour call just for the people who do Boosted where I actually show you, and you can start to make sense of all these different changes that you and people in your life are going through. Mm-hmm. Because when we understand, like, you would never blame yourself for a storm coming through and taking your house out, right, like a hurricane. But yet, when things just go crazy, say on our 49th year when we have our biggest shift in our whole life, to give you an example, Neil Donald Walsh was homeless. Sonia Choquette, famous author as well, lost both her father, her brother, and her husband all within 6 weeks of turning 50. To use a celebrity, Tom Cruise was shocked when his wife left him just weeks before his 50th birthday. I think it might have been days. I'll have to check into that, but it was right before his 50th. It just goes on and on, you guys, the list that I can make of this, and you'll see it once you start to talk to people about this, but you're going to have the inside scoop on that system. Next, we have the physical product, my tattoos. I actually send you tattoos. So when you do the Boosted program, you get 6 individual root chakra tattoos because I want everyone to make sure they're grounded first. And then you get one full set of all 7 tattoos, so you can try each one of those out individually. I also created a Chakra Love Healing album, you guys. It was such a joy. It was just spirit channeling through me. We have a review of it from a music critic, Michael Diamond, who does New Age music. It was really a beautiful review that you can read right on the sales page. And I give that to you because there's mantras, there's an abundance song, and there's a healing song for every chakra. So if you know you want to work on your 3rd chakra, per se, you can keep playing that 3rd chakra song over and over again, sing along, and really move into the energy. Also, go ahead, hon.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just going to mention, though, about the actual physical products that people are getting. I think that that's excellent because I know that I was so excited when I got these tattoos in the mail because I usually don't get anything like that in the mail from a spiritual healer. Usually we do a lot of downloads, but I just think that that's wonderful that you also had something that I could look forward to getting and actually physically using. So I'm so happy that that was included as well. Thank you.
Yeah, when this came to me, I was like, oh, it's so cool because I can actually touch out into the world. Like, I'm sending these into all these different countries, and I'm getting to, like, physically be there for these people because the energy, the first time I ever created these tattoos, my son and I put so much love into the design of these tattoos, and when I walked into my very first store in Sedona, which is Crystal Magic, the woman behind the desk said, I need to sit down. She was like a psychic, and she wasn't the buyer. So I ended up getting the buyer's number, and the buyer ended up buying. But that day I didn't sell anything. But all that mattered to me was she said, there's so much love, and this is a quote. It was the best first meeting I ever could have had in my whole life. The first store I ever walk into, the sell wholesale too, because I don't sell very many wholesale. But I walked into this place and she said, there's so much love coming off of those, because she was an empath, and she goes, it's literally like I need to sit down for a second. And she sat down and just kind of explained me. I said, oh my gosh, thank you. You've made not just my day, you've made my life. Because that's what we wanted to do with this. And she was like, well, it's all over them. She goes, I could just feel it radiating off of them. And I'm like, okay, cool. Tell that to your person too, because she wasn't the buyer. And the woman actually did buy, right? But you know what? The truth was I wouldn't care if they hadn't bought them, because I couldn't have imagined in a million years that the first store I'd walk into, some psychic woman would just literally feel the waves of energy and love coming off of the tattoos. So that is super exciting. So I also, when I first needed to get my own root chakra energy really going, I did a lot of different practices, and I decided to lead other people through that. So I have an audio course that you can play in your car or wherever, and it has 4 meditations that will help you ground, because I'm a hypnotherapist, you guys. And then it has 4 modules that tell you every single way you can practically boost your root chakra. It's about, the importance of commitment, about grounding, about the power of trees. We work with trees a lot. It's about making a first chakra altar. It's about aromas and stones and colors, using food, erasing your negative beliefs around wealth. It's about a powerful prosperity game that I have you play, and feng shui for better abundance energy around your home. And it covers so much in that audio program. And that's just a bonus on the Boosted. And then I give you the same exact thing in ebook version so that you can also read it. It's just good to have the multimodality. And pretty much that's everything, guys. When I tell you everything, the first 6 things, without the chakra life cycles, without the album, without the tattoos, that's all just basic. If you just want to take the course and do the 2 basic live calls with me, and you can bring in a friend for free, it's $197. When you put it with your friend, it's less than $100 each. If you want to jump with me into the Boosted, you'll get the tattoos, the album, the secrets to the chakra life cycle call. That's only for the Boosted people. And of course, everybody in both programs gets the healing call and the Q&A call. So you're going to have access for sure. Okay?
Well, Vicki, I was going to say.
We have one big thing that we have to add.
Yeah.
The bonus, which I'm sure you'll get, which is, you guys, this bonus, only this week am I offering this bonus. I've never done this before, which is a private 30-minute session. I'm very interested in right now talking with people one-on-one. I'm in a point in my book where I'm just finishing the last 5% of my book, and I'm looking to hear more of people's life stories around their chakra life cycle. So I'm loving working with people. So I'm doing a private 30-minute session included in this as a bonus if you buy in the next 3 days, so by Thursday, June 2nd. And, if you do it, you're going to get this one-on-one with me, and we can work on anything. We can do the chakra life cycle stuff. We can do a healing. We can do a really short, just a guided hypnotherapy, or we can run through tapping. It's really cool. You'll have a lot of different options in that 30-minute session.
Well, that's what I was just about to mention, that not only are you getting all of this in that second package, but you're also getting that 30-minute session with you, which I think is just priceless. So, I mean, this is chocked full of everything that you can know about, I think, the chakra life cycle. And I just think that this is such an excellent program that both my sister and I have decided that we are going to actually get the program and use it as well. And so hopefully we'll be able to have you back on another time, and then we can kind of share some of the things that the insights that we gained from just using your program with our audience.
Yay, you guys are going to be prosperity partners.
That's right. I'm so excited about that.
Partners. I love it. It's perfect. Okay, so yeah, you guys, it's just I'm super excited about this, and I never want to come on too strong, but I just want to tell you that I've seen this. It's changed so many lives. My clients change, and so whenever I feel you on the call, I'm like, if you feel any draw to, please jump on. Once you become a part of my Chakra Abundance family, you can come on to any call. So, like, for instance, when I do these live calls, not the Chakra Life Cycle Secret call, but all my others, like I redo healing calls every once in a while as I do different summits, and I redo the Q&A calls. And when I redo them, you get to come back on anytime you want. So it's really cool. I have some people from my original group that I did live who still come to the calls, still get the healing, and keep on growing with us. So it's also just like being part of a community. This isn't just I don't want you to ever feel like you're just going to be left on your own, because that's not what this is about. You do have to take action. You do need to be empowered within yourself. But you have me and you have our group to walk through this with you. And most important, I literally I don't only suggest, but I give you the link to give to a friend to make them your prosperity partner, so they come on board free. So the two of you work together, because I saw that the people who had prosperity partners got so much more out of the program, and that's what I want for you.
Well, I also wanted to share about something that some of the people that have used your Chakra Abundance course have mentioned and who have worked with you. Let me just read a few of them before we end the call, but it says, I cannot say enough about the Chakra Abundance course. This is hands down one of the best courses I have taken online or anywhere. The course material, organization, presentation has been so informative, inspiring, and powerful. Amazing experience, Vicki. Thank you. That was Lola. Another person, Torrance, said, I'm a hypnotherapist, so I know meditations, and your meditations in the first chakra program are great. After listening to them only twice, my attitude toward money shifted, and my income shot up the same week. Incredible. Thanks, Vicki. And then also John mentioned, I have done many things and did many courses for personal development. Chakra Abundance showed me that developing the lower chakras is key for commitment, focus, and embodiment. This is the first time that I could follow through the whole process and actually boosted my lower chakras significantly, and I feel much stronger and confident. I highly recommend doing the Chakra Abundance. I think that these are excellent feedback on the course that you have, Vicki.
Yeah, and for those of you who are talking about health, I'm getting more and more, I think probably because I just keep getting healthier each year as my energy is expanding, and so my tribe is taking that on even through my program, because I am getting, like the testimony at the top with Michelle Middlebusher. Michelle literally, like both her and her daughter, Michelle was having all kinds of physical problems, and literally within like the first week they sent me the testimonial that's on here about her saying that she was overweight, she was feeling fatigue, and that because she'd had a stroke, and she started feeling really great. And she said she and her daughter even like were seeing themselves change, like seeing more beauty, and I could almost hear people going, oh really, like, oh sure, but the truth is I see the same thing in the mirror for me over the years. You guys, it's really the light within that creates our beauty more than anything else, and when we work with our energy field, our entire energy field, we get literally younger and more beautiful. It shines right through. So not only do we get healthier, we literally healthier hand in hand with that is more beautiful. So whatever it is that I know it sounds like, oh, I can have it all, but the truth is when you work with chakras, you truly get to choose, like what areas you want to boost, what you want to work on. This is about me educating you to know what work to do, what play to do for the areas of life that you want to balance for yourself. Or so it really does touch on everything. And I've always been told by people, well, don't say it does everything because nobody can wrap around that. But it does. Your chakra field contains everything in your life. I know you don't want everything. I know you want specific things. So we work in the program of personalizing it for you, and I teach you how you can go after what you want, but you do it at the root, not on the external world, but from your energy field inside of you where everything begins, and then things start showing up externally because your energy shifts.
Mm-hmm. Well, Vicki, I'm so happy that you were able to be on the call today. I know that we're going to do the group clearing now for the group. Is that possible for us to do that now?
It is if you don't mind that we go for a 2-hour call.
Yeah, I know.
9 or 10 minutes.
Well, I think that it's worth it for sure. I know that we still have quite a number of people on the call, and they were really hoping to talk with you, and so I just hope that this group clearing will do everyone some good as well.
Okay, so guys, just so you know, everything's a muscle, especially if your upper chakra. The lower chakras relate to muscles, relate to things you have to do over time consistently in order to create new energy in your life. So I can shift your energy now. You want to keep coming back to this. You want to keep coming back to the practices. You want to jump in and commit to things that will allow you to shift this on a regular basis. If I go to the gym once and I lift up a few weights, I'm not going to suddenly have a strong bicep and then keep it the rest of my life, okay? We're in an embodiment age now. Embodiment is the new enlightenment, and we understand that things are a process. We are a process. We are spirit unfolding. Okay, so as we do this, as you get into the high that you feel after this, then continue to listen to this again and again. Hopefully join me on Chakra Abundance, or join your friend, your prosperity partner, whoever that is, and just decide today to make a process of understanding your energy, and everything will begin to shift in your life. You are the creator, the co-creator with the universe of all of this. So what I need you to do now, if you're driving somehow, please do not do this, okay? But if you're in a safe place to do so, find a comfortable, seated, upright position and feel into the currents of energy that run up and down your spine. Just start to tap, and if you can't feel them, if you're not sensitive enough at the moment to feel them, imagine them. There's a current that moves upward that gives you freedom and lightness. It liberates you. And there's a current that moves downward. It gives you grounding and safety, and it actually manifests things for you in your life, the manifesting current. We're going to be tapping into both of these as we cleanse and clear your chakras of subconscious beliefs that aren't serving you. This will create a sense of freedom and an open avenue for more manifestation. Now, take a deep breath in, hold it for just a moment, and let it go, allowing yourself to relax as you do. Good. Take another deep breath in, hold it a moment, and relax even more as you let it go. One more time, big breath in, hold it completely, strongly. Then relax and gently let it go, deeper and deeper still. Now, allow your breath to move naturally. Just watch your breath as it moves in and out, in and out. And draw your focus to the sound of my voice. Notice the quality of my voice, its volume, its tone, its tempo, until all other sounds just fade into the background. No matter what other sounds are around you, your unconscious now stays with my voice as we journey through your chakras, releasing any and all energetic blocks in each and every chakra, and activating your entire energetic field to its full, expansive potential now. Draw your attention now down to your tailbone at the base of your spine. This is the home of your red root chakra. The energy here is dense and slow and earthy. You may want to imagine roots glowing from the soles of your feet down, down, down into the center of Mother Earth. Imagine or sense these roots wrapping around the core of the earth a few times, making you feel more safe and secure,
fully anchored and grounded like an old redwood tree with deep, deep roots and all the time in the world. As you bathe in this feeling of strong, stable root chakra energy, your unconscious now releases any and all fears or blocks around commitment to your body and being safe in your physical body. You belong. The glowing red energy of your core expands now, allowing you to celebrate full embodiment and delight in manifesting prosperity and desirable physical things. Feel your connection to Earth. This energy stays strong now as you draw your focus to the center of your pelvis. Here in the orange of your sacral chakra, the energy is playful and juicy. Feel into its sensual, flowing nature. This is the home of your divine feminine and all of your emotions, your place of joy and pleasure, your deep source of creativity and intimacy. Your unconscious now releases any and all fears or blocks around being vulnerable and fully expressing your emotions and sexuality. The glowing orange energy of your pelvis expands now, leaving you more comfortable with and excited about intimacy than ever before. Now, focus a little higher on the center of your solar plexus, where your warrior self resides. Yes, feel the powerful element of fire in your gut, the sun inside your body, a bright, glowing, yellow orb of personal energy. As you focus on this fiery energy, feel your posture slowly becoming more upright, aligning with your natural sense of confidence, clarity, and can-do. You now know you can do anything you set your mind to. And your unconscious now releases any and all fears or blocks around owning all of your power and shining your bright, magnificent light. The glowing yellow energy of your solar plexus expands now, leaving you more confident and excited about taking bold and decisive action than ever before. Bring your attention now to the center of your entire energy field, the center of your chest. Here in your heart chakra is where your divine mother energy resides. Pure love, light and airy, that makes you feel compassionate, connected, and carefree. Imagine or sense a glowing green orb in the center of your chest, like a green go light, pulsing and sending energy down both of your arms, out your hands, so that everyone you touch feels healed by your heart. Your unconscious now releases any and all fears or blocks around loving and trusting yourself and others. The glowing green energy of your heart expands now, leaving you feeling like a pure, divine source of peace and unconditional love. Focus now on the center of your throat. As you do so, gently open your mouth and yawn. Oh, that's right, just open your mouth and let out a big yawn, releasing any energy that may have previously been blocked or locked in your jaw. Here in the glowing blue energy of your throat chakra is where your inspirational leader resides. The element is sound, and it makes you want to express yourself fully and authentically. Your unconscious now releases any and all fears or blocks around speaking your truth and stepping into your highest life purpose. The glowing blue energy of your throat expands now, leaving you feeling motivated to step up, communicate clearly, and offer your most authentic gift to the world. Now, draw your attention to the indigo glow of your third eye in the middle of your brow. This is the home of your wise, intuitive self. Imagine you have a little window here in the center of your brow that you can look out of to gain a vast perspective on everything in your life. Tap into the energy here that connects you into your intuition, your imagination, and your psychic tendencies. Feel how you know that you know. Your unconscious now releases any and all fears or blocks around the mysterious power of your psychic skills. The glowing indigo energy of your third eye opens and expands now, leaving you feeling deeply in touch with your intuitive ability and the magical, playful energies of the universe. Now, draw your attention to the crown at the top of your head and imagine you have a little sunroof right here. Slide that sunroof open and feel white light radiate down from above, filling you up and connecting you to all that is. Know and feel that you are energy, consciousness, spirit. Your unconscious now releases any and all fears or blocks around accepting that you are totally divine and made of pure spirit. The glowing violet energy of your crown expands now, leaving you feeling totally accepting, leaving you feeling your divine essence and feeling connected to everything in the universe. Now we're going to further cleanse and clear the chakras as you are this open by moving the white light energy up and down your chakra channel. With your crown wide open, imagine there's a funnel opening there. Inhale and draw white light energy from the sky down into the bottom of your heart. Hold it a moment, then exhale and send that light energy down into the core of Mother Earth. From the core of the earth, inhale vital energy up into your heart. Exhale and send that energy up to the sky. Clearing now, inhale from the sky down into your heart. Exhale further down into the earth. Inhale from the earth, back up into your heart. Exhale back into the sky, clearing. You may notice now, as this energy continues to run, we allow the subconscious to let it keep running, that your chakras are feeling more open and balanced. You're accessing your own energy field. And the rest of this week, we're going to let this energy keep on running. And on the count of 3, you're going to open your eyes feeling better than you ever have, relaxed and energized at the same time. 1, 2, 3. eyes open and feeling fantastic.
Thank you, Vicki, for that wonderful meditation tonight. I know we've gone longer on the call than normal, but I just feel like you've shared such an amazing amount of knowledge on chakras. I'm just excited that you're able to connect with the audience today and the listeners. And I hope that I'm sure everyone got about as much of it as they could get. But I encourage everyone to listen to the replays if you still want to hear more, because I know that there's more to this program. And then also think about investing in the Abundance program. I know I'm very excited about being able to do it. But, Vicki, I just wanted to tell you how much I really appreciate how much you've been able to share with us today. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kenyette. It's really, really my pleasure. And this is kind of new information. So I think that you did just the most amazing job in hosting and trafficking the calls and getting back to Fredericksburg, right? And,
right.
and I do think we covered a lot. I really do. I think even though we went a couple hours, I think that I've just never covered this much. So I'm really, really glad. And I hope that everyone listening, that you all got some really great takeaways. And I just hope that I get the honor of working with you and serving you and helping you to just really get that, your energy field is the everything, and it's all at your fingertips. We understand this stuff now. We really do.
Well, great. Well, thank you. And I also wanted to thank everyone who's listening in and adding your light to these calls. I hope that you continue to do so, and I encourage you and invite each and every one of you to join us as often as you can and to get into these places of learning and living your bliss today. Until next time, take care.
Thank you, everyone. Much love.
Thank you, Vicki.